What's up guys, Hersey here. It's been a while, but I'm back with a new YouTube video. Today I'll be showing you how to install Gentoo Linux on the PS4. You will need a PS4 with an exploitable firmware. My PS4 is running on 5.05, which is what I recommend for having for this. So let's jump into getting this set up. First off, it's recommended that you have a USB 3.0 flash drive with at least 64 gigabytes of storage. You can also use a USB 3.0 external hard drive. I'll be using a 128 gigabyte SanDisk 3.0 USB drive. Also, it is recommended that you have a USB hub to plug a USB keyboard and a mouse into. Now we need to download a few things. Links in the description. So the first thing we need to download is the PS4 Gentoo distro. So that can be found in the description. There's two links, so one's for Google Drive and one's for Mega. You can use either or. But it is 3 gigs in file size, so if you have a slow internet connection, it might take a while. So yeah, here's the two links for the PS4 Gentoo distro. And then you'll need to download. Well, if you're using a USB 3.0 flash drive, I recommend you download a program called Rufus. It's a program where you can create bootable USB drives. And then if you're using the external hard drive, you can download this program called Etcher, because Rufus won't allow you to select the external hard drive. So once you got them two files downloaded, you need to load up Rufus or Etcher, whichever one you need to use. So I'm going to be using Rufus here. So make sure you find your USB flash drive, the correct one. So that you see here is a 128 gigabyte drive. And now you find where you downloaded the PS4 image, the Gentoo PS4 distro image. And now make sure your USB drive and your USB hard drive, whichever one you're using, doesn't have anything on it, because when we proceed to the next step, it will erase everything on the drive. So be sure to back up anything that is on it that's important to you. Okay, now I will click start, and it's going to tell me everything on the device will be destroyed. To continue with this operation, click OK. I'm going to click OK. And then this one pops up. I'm going to ignore it. It doesn't matter. So this will take a little bit. So I'll meet you back here once it's completed. Okay, now that it's completed, you can close the program. And we're going to check to see it should have created 2 partitions on your USB. One will be a 200 megabyte FAT32 partition, which contains the proper bootloader files to allow the payload to boot Gentoo. And then the other partition will be a 10 gigabyte partition that contains the Gentoo image, which is mounted the image to that 10 gigabyte partition. And the remaining storage left over is going to be unallocated space. We will fix that when we boot into Gentoo. So let's go check and see. You can go to the Windows Disk Manager. You can get here by clicking the Windows button and X and the Disk Management. Okay, so we're gonna check here to see. Right here is Disk 3 on my Disk Management. See the 200 megabyte FAT32, the 10.91 gigabyte healthy primary partition. That's going to be the ext4. And then the 103 that's left over, that's unallocated, we'll fix that in Gentoo Linux. So now that we completed that, that's everything on the computer. So we're going to come here and eject the USB flash drive, and I'll meet you over on the PS4. Alright, now we're on the PS4. You're going to want to make sure to plug that flash drive into your PS4. Always plug it into the USB port closest to the CD drive. I don't know if it makes any difference, but we're always plug mine in at. So now we're going to have to go change a few settings on the PS4. So I'm gonna go over here to settings, and go down to sound and screen, and I'm going to check video output settings. I'm going to change it to 1080p, or I want to keep it on automatic, or no, 1080p. And then we're going to turn HDR off if it is on, and that's going to be all in the settings. We're going to go down here and I'm going to show you. You see right here, System Software 5.05. Okay, so now we want to head over to the internet browser, and you're going to make sure you want to make sure you have all the cache and browser history cleared, so we will not get any out of memory errors. So what you want to do is you hit the options button, go to settings, click delete cookies, click yes, okay. Clear data, website data, click OK. Now we're going to go over here to browsing history and clear browsing history. Now what you're going to do is you want to press the PlayStation button to go out of the internet browser, and then you want to go back into the internet browser. And the website you're going to want to go to is PS4 Gentoo.github.io. And when you first load up the website, it's going to install the offline cache for offline usage. So let that, it shouldn't take too long for that. So once it completes successfully, it will load to this screen. I mean, the background, this website might change periodically, so if it does, don't freak out. Everything should kind of still have the same layout. So now you're going to come to this screen that has a bunch of options. These are all the payloads. And the ones we're looking for are the Gentoo 2GB and the Gentoo 3GB payloads. So I'm going to be using the Gentoo 3GB. That means it's going to allocate 3 gigs of the PS4's RAM, available RAM, to Gentoo. So yeah, you're going to go ahead and click Start. Well, click Start, and it says loading files, please wait. This is it's loading the 3 gigabytes in VRAM. I'm sorry, I said regular RAM. This is going to be for video RAM. So if the now sometimes the PS4 might have what we call a kernel panic, and it will restart. If it does, don't freak out. Just load the website and try to launch the payload again. Now, if the payload has properly launched and the screen will go black for a few seconds, then you should see it come up with a small text booting into Gentoo, like you see right now. So right now it is loading Gentoo Linux, so it might take a minute, so give it time. Everything should have green text saying OK beside it. And now it will load straight into the Gentoo desktop. Like it's loading into the Linux right now, and it'll go straight into the desktop. So now make sure you have your USB hub with your mouse and keyboard plugged into it, because now it will come in handy. Let me make sure mine is on and working. Yep, okay, my bad. I wasn't aware the keyboard was on. So now we need to change a few things to make it easier for me to use. I mean, you can change these also if you want. So first I'm going to go up here to the top and right click Unlock Widgets. And then I'm going to click Edit Panels. And now I'm going to click Remove Panel. And now I'm going to right click again and click let's see, Add Panel, Default Panel. And as you see, it loads over here on the left hand side. So now I want to move it down to the bottom, so I'm going to click Edit Panels, and I'm going to click right here where it says Screen Edge, and I'm going to click and drag down and then click off of it. And now we got everything. Now that's set up. So that's how I want it. It makes it a little easier, and it also gives me this little start menu. Now we're going to fix the partition so that we have all the extra space available for Gentoo to utilize. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the Gentoo logo here to load up this little start menu. And then we're going to search for gparted. As you see, it's right here. So I'm going to click on that. It's going to load up and it's going to ask for a password. The default password is going to be PS4. Just lowercase. And as you see here, it's scanning all devices. It's loading. It's kind of like the disk management tool we just seen in PC on Windows. So as you see here, it's going to show all of our partitions. It's going to show the FAT32 partition, the ext4 partition, and the unallocated space. So what you're going to want to do is you want to click on the ext4 and come up here to the top, the 10 gigabyte ext4, and you're going to click up here at the top of this little arrow. It says resize and move the selected partition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this up here and I'm going to drag it all the way to the end, and I'm going to click resize. So now all of that extra space is now allocated to the ext4 partition for Gentoo Linux to utilize. You have to click the check mark after you do that for it to apply the changes. And now it says all operations successfully completed. Now you can click close, and you can close out a gparted. Okay, so now we're going to change the password for the account. There's going to be 2 accounts by default. It's going to be the root, which is the administrator account. It comes installed on, all distros of Linux. It's kind of like the administrator account on the Windows. And then there's going to be the PS4 account, which is what we're in right now. So what we're going to load up, we're going to load up console. We're going to type console on the search thing and hit enter. And we're going to load into the console here. And now we're going to make the text a little bigger so we can see it. And so what you're going to want to do is you're going to type in this command is PASSWD and then space PS4 and hit enter. It says changing password for PS4. The current password is PS4. It's not going to show when you're typing. And now it's going to ask for the new password, so enter your desired password. And then hit enter. And it's going to ask you to retype it. And then it'll update. It says password updated successfully. And now we're going to change the, it is recommended that we change the root password. So what we're going to type in, we're going to type in SU for super user and hit enter. It's going to ask for a password. The password for the root account is also going to be PS4 by default. Click enter and you see it, text turns red. So that's when you know you're in the root account. So now what we're going to do is we're going to type in password and hit enter. It's going to ask for the new password. And it's recommended that you use a different password than the one you use for your PS4 account. So we're going to type in our password. It's going to ask me to retype it. And now it says password updated successfully. So now that we're done with that, that's pretty much all the changing we're going to need to do. So now I'm going to show you around the operating system a little bit. So we're going to click on the start menu, and as you see when we first open it, we have the Brave web browser, system settings, file manager, integrated development environment, partition editor, info center, and screenshot capture utility. Then we come over here to applications, which is now we've got the games tab. Oh, my bad. Applications, games. So this is where you're going to find a lot of your emulators, the pre-installed emulators. We got RetroArch, Retro Gaming, PlayStation 4 Remote Play Client, Wii GameCube emulator. This is the Dolphin emulator. Open Gaming Platform, Lutris, which is like a game launcher for PC, for PC games. The PlayStation emulator, the PCSXR, PlayStation 2 emulator, the PCSX2, the PPSSPP, which is the PSP emulator. And it says interpreter for several adventure games. I'm not sure what that is. Application for managing and playing games on Steam. This is the Steam client. Sega Saturn emulator, and M64PY front end for Mupin 64 Plus. I'm guessing that's a Nintendo 64 emulator. I'm not sure. Computer, ROMs folder, downloads folder. You know, you got all your partitions. So yeah, and oh yeah, I gotta go back to the other applications. Graphics. So you got image editor, KDE image viewer, PDF file viewer. Then you got the Brave internet web browser, internet messenger is Discord. You got FileZilla, the FTP client, desktop sharing, and an official version of Telegram messaging app. Multimedia, the Kodi, got Kodi installed. Make MKV for DVDs and Blu-ray converter. It says a feature-rich screen recorder that supports X11 and something else. Simple screen recorder, media player. You got VLC media player. Then you got all your control panel settings and all that. Utilities. We got use a gamepad to control a variety of games or programs. Yeah, you got all this stuff here. And I can show you, we can load up, let's see. I'm going to do another video showing emulators running and all, but for now I can load, I guess, Steam. Which is probably got to download it and all that. Which I do have a game on a flash drive that's plugged in. But yeah, I'll wait to load all that up on another video. So down here on the right hand corner though, we have your networks connection tab, which you see I'm connected to a wired connection. You can connect to Wi-Fi. So you see Steam is loading here. We're just going to minimize that. You can connect to Wi-Fi. I guess you can go to settings here. And 802.1 security. Let's see. How would you add a Wi-Fi connection? Oh, right here, Wi-Fi. Which I do have Wi-Fi, but it's asking for me to manually enter it, and I'm not going to do that. Anyways, then you got your sound settings. You got controller manager, like you could plug like your PlayStation controller in and map all your buttons to this. And you got where your device identifier is. This is like if you plug in USBs. Like, see, I got a USB plugged in right now with the Wrath of the King. If you know what that is, that's one of the classic WoW clients. I had it plugged in to the PlayStation, testing it out. A clipboard. And this time is definitely not right, and if you want to update it, you can just right click, adjust time and date. Wait a minute, it'll load up. Time zone. My time zone is gonna be Eastern time. Not sure how it has it listed on here. Let's see, New York, yeah. This is my time zone. It's going to ask for your password. Oh. Oh, it's asking for root password. There we go. That should work. Authentication failure. Please try again. Okay, I'm having some issues here. unable to set time zone. Alright, anyways, I'll work on this later. I guess something's going on with my password. But yeah, guys, that is how you install Gentoo Linux on the PS4. And I apologize for some of the little errors I had here and there, like just then. I got to figure out why it's not accepting the password. But yeah, I will make another video showing, you know, setting up Steam, whatever, running some emulators on here. And it's a pretty powerful Linux distro for the PS4. It's pretty cool to be able to run this on the PS4. You know, so if you have a exploitable PS4, it's something you can do on your PlayStation 4, and you can. This is not a permanent thing on your PS4. Once you turn it off, it'll go away. But you can launch back into the PS4 by going to the start menu here, clicking leave, and going to restart. And she'll load up the restart screen here in a second. Let's try that again. It's going to want to be aggravating. Oh yeah, because Linux is trying to download. But we're going to click restart. I'll set all that up later. And it should go to this screen. And it should boot back into the PS4 firmware. As you see here, it's loading back into PS4, the PlayStation 4 operating system. So yeah, guys, thank you for joining me in this video, and it's been a while, so I'm all rusty on this whole YouTube thing. So yeah, so thank you, everybody. If it was helpful, please remember to leave a like below, and if you need any assistance, feel free to comment below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.